for everyone that's back. Welcome back to the Chef Schanne podcast. Let's get into it. Just want to go over, firstly, my Packers tonight just dominated a very good Detroit team in the second half. Yeah, why I say in the second half is that the second half was all Green Bay coming back and dominating. Yeah, they had the penalties. Yeah, they had lucky penalties. But there's something they fell right now where you're just it's not how you're able to, or it's what the penalty like you commit, is how that person or that way you do it makes you look. That's where Trey Flowers got into trouble tonight, where he, David Bakhtiari just basically just set him up for fucking, just made it look a lot worse than what it was. But still, it's it is a penalty. You go for you go anything above the body, they're probably going to be a little sensitive with that. So you might not want to do it. With that being said, because as a pass rusher, if you're a pass rusher, you don't need to do that. To be honest, you don't need to do that. Preston and Zadarius Smith rarely ever. I mean, other than the last week where it's Zadarius Smith, but Preston never got hands to the face during that game. But Zadarius got caught with hands to the face. It just slips up. And that was actually hands to the face. This one was a little iffy, but still, you're going to be defensive about any player getting hit upwards at that angle, especially and a tackle as good as David Bakhtiari. Bakhtiari is one of the best tackles in the game right now, number one position wise in the NFL right now. But yeah, Green Bay had just so many chances in the first half to make it a tighter game than it was, and they couldn't cash in, and then Detroit couldn't cash in. It was just a back and forth game. It just made you cringe, and just the boys, whatever team you're rooting for, you just let your boys fight, and ultimately Green Bay on top because of really just because of Aaron. Aaron was the reason that we were able to pull the game out tonight. Yeah, I mean, there's no way to say. Yeah, Aaron was the only reason tonight, and I mean, give all the credit to Matthew Stafford and the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Came in with a great game plan, just shocked the Packers for the first quarter. Just said we're gonna throw the ball down the field, and Green Bay just wasn't ready for it. I know I wasn't ready for it. Wasn't ready for that flea flicker at the first play of the game. Let's do a flea flicker. I'm like, oh shit. But it's funny because like the way they played in the first half was just such the opposite in the second half. I mean, he was still throwing the ball down the field, but it was like more underneath stuff than down the field. They weren't really stretching the field at that point anymore. They were trying to like stay comfortable in their lead. But you can't just be comfortable with a 13-point lead at half against Aaron, 19-10 lead over Aaron Rodgers at half. No, that's not good enough anymore. Like, you gotta, there's at one point you guys had to put the pedal to the metal and just fucking hammer it out. But hats off to the Detroit Lions. They played a hell of a game. Very feisty. NFC North battle. Just something that you're always going to get in these type of games with the NFC North. It's just you're always going to get those battles. Well, yeah, I don't know if you guys, if you guys, listen to the last podcast. I had my buddy Josh on here. Um, we did a podcast on here about video games and stuff. Just basically how I preach to you guys right now. It's just basically it is a video game podcast, and I should post more on video games. Sorry if you don't like to listen to sports and stuff, but I have to go on my tangents. I'm never gonna if I have one of my guests on here, I'm never gonna not let them speak their mind about sports and stuff like that. So we're always gonna be a open podcast about everything, but it's primarily about video games, which is what we were talking about. We were talking about the Arkham Knight series, we were talking about this, we're talking about that. It's actually really, really cool too. It was really cool to sit down and talk with him about all that kind of stuff, and we talk about this stuff at bars and shit, and shit, stuff like that. Never really just sat down and me and him just talked beforehand. And then we talked on the podcast. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. We're actually doing this stuff now that we were the stuff that we were talking about at bars. We bring here and just talk for hours on end. I think we talked for about 2 hours here. And it was that was a very good podcast, very productive. I'll probably try to get more of my friends on here, but depending on what their work schedule is and stuff like that, especially depending on my work schedule too. My work schedule coming up is pretty hectic, so I don't know how much I'll be able to get on this travel. That's why I kind of got on tonight for kind of like a quick one, but like I haven't been on here in a while, so definitely want to hit that margin with you guys. But we got the last podcast was really, really good for me. Having on here a dimension to it that I don't have myself. But yeah. Alright, so with that being said, let's get into the last week's football scores, or this past week really, because I haven't been on here in a while, so let me just get to the L1 on ESPN here. Alright, let's go through the scores here. So the Patriots beat us, obviously, because the Giants just aren't the same without Saquon and Barkley. Actually, the Giants kept it close for most of the game. If they had Barkley, they probably would have won. It would probably give the Patriots their first loss, but that's just me. Carolina, the Buccaneers, 37-26, thanks to Christian McCaffrey's effort. 2 touchdown effort, 1 rushing touchdown, but 2 passing touchdown effort. Alright, why is this scrolling to the bottom? Seahawks. Seahawks was an interesting game. Wilson had 3 touchdowns to rally past the Baker Mayfield Bills, 32-28, ended up 23 for 33, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield, 22 for 37, 249, and 1 touchdown and 3 picks. So this game was very interesting because of the fact that um, actually the headset for Russell Wilson out half like during the drive. Nobody knows when. They're not gonna tell you when it happened. But Russell Wilson basically for most of the drive just calling plays, just Pete Carroll had the confidence in him to call the plays himself, and he let him all the way down the field for a touchdown. And I never missed a pass, never. I mean, this guy was just an unstoppable animal at that point. Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson have just been insanely good this year with that kind of stuff. Like, even if they're having difficulties, they kind of still have like that same page. They still know, their play on the way they gotta play. He knows the way he has to play to be able to, he's dropping dimes onto Curse and Metcalf, and just this shit was insane in this game. The game was definitely one of my favorites this weekend. Houston took on Kansas City. Houston won because Kansas City can't stop the run. Carlos Hyde went 26 for 116 and a touchdown. Deshaun Watson went 30 for 42, 280 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. And then Mahomes went 19 for 35, 273, 3 touchdowns and a pick. And, like anything that Mahomes on the Chiefs is really, there's no good statistics after him. Right. And who do we got next? Stink Bowl here. Washington versus Miami. I mean, Case Keenum just played a solid game. Adrian Peterson played an amazing game for them, and that's basically why they were in range for touchdowns. But also, there was several shot plays to T. McLaurin. He was 4 receptions for 102 touchdowns. On the other side, Fitzpatrick only had through 12 or 18, 12 or 18, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. Drake was 10 carries, 40 yards, 0 touchdowns. And the leading receiver only had 51 yards receiving. Miami's depressing, to say the least. I thought they would be able to pull out the game there, but apparently not. And let's go to the Philadelphia Eagles. Excuse me. Definitely one thing I hate about this. Why can't the Philadelphia Eagles can beat the Packers? Why can't they beat the Minnesota Vikings? The Minnesota Vikings do not play well. They're hurt. They're a terrible team. But the Philadelphia Eagles just don't have the secondary to be able to contain Kirk Cousins, which is sad. I think he's probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFC right now. So definitely the Eagles need to figure out what they have to do there. Basically, average numbers for everyone this game. Dalvin Cook wasn't even a leading rusher in this game, and Stephon Diggs went for 7 reception, 167 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then Sanders was 3 receptions for 86 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's a lot less than what Diggs had. But Diggs had a lot of shot plays at the beginning of the game. Kind of like tonight with Green Bay, but Philly just needs to get their stuff together. And then you got the Saints and Jaguars. The Saints and the Jaguars Saints still stay unbeaten with Bridgewater as the quarterback. Played well enough to win on this one, 24 for 36, 240 yards and a touchdown. Minshew, played to lose, because he had the pick instead of the touchdown. And just below average stats for everyone in that game, other than the two quarterbacks. And Lamar Jackson runs past the Bengals because he ran over 100 yards and a touchdown, and didn't throw one, but had over 200 yards passing too. But that's why your Baltimore Ravens are really just struggling this year, is because of the fact that Lamar Jackson can't get into the role of being a quarterback, still can't read coverages, still struggles with that. You gotta be able to read coverages. It's just paramount that you are able to read coverages as well. And Lamar Jackson he played brilliantly through the first couple weeks, and then after that you were just like, what the fuck is this guy even doing now? Holy fucking shit. Then Rams and Niners won that one, obviously, pretty easily, 20-7. I had Jared Goff in Tennessee, only 78 passing yards. He only got like 7 points, I think, in fantasy. Surprise. Malcolm Brown has the rushing yard holder for this game. The only rushing touchdown to come out of the Rams game was a rushing touchdown to Robert Woods. That was the only touchdown of the game, which sucks for me because I had Robert Woods and Jared Goff in fantasy. So fuck you, Robert Woods or Jared Goff. All right, let's go on to the Falcons. Arizona. Brian missed the extra point to be, missed the extra point miss. So, Brian played a great game. 30 for 36, 356 yards, 4 touchdowns. Kyler Murray played very well too. 27 for 37, 340 and 3 touchdowns. Devontae Freeman was 19 carries for 88 yards. David Johnson, 12 carries, 34 yards and a touchdown. Austin Hooper was the leading reception for Atlanta, and 8 receptions, 117 and touchdown. And Larry Fitz was the man to beat on the Arizona side, which is 6 receptions and 69 yards, 0 touchdowns. These games just kind of were weird this week. Broncos beat the Titans, obviously, because the Titans are just terrible. Titans are just legitimately the worst team in the league right now in the AFC. Especially since Richard's not playing for them. Mariota. Now it's Ryan Tannehill playing for them. I mean, Tannehill struggles. Jets and Cowboys. This was a great one. Jets and Cowboys. The reason the Cowboys lost was because the Cowboys just, basically they suck, but basically on the word critic, and they basically lost because they were predictable, and that the Jets have Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold is a quarterback in the NFL, so you can't play predictable defense against him. You can't play it against him anymore. Like, he's just too good at this point. Steelers beat the Chargers. Don't really need to get into that one. Nobody really. Nobody really cares about this one, but I'll go into it. Connor scores 2 touchdowns. James Conner, probably 1 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown. And then D. Hodge has he went 15 for 20, 132 yards, 1 touchdown, and a pick. Philip Rivers went 26 for 44, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Mel Gordon, 8 carries, 18 yards. Hunter Henry was 8 receptions, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, this was just a crazy week for the NFL. Crazy week for all of us, really. If you follow football, it's just it was insane. I mean, there's no way to put it other than that. Yeah. If you guys want to know what I'm drinking tonight, I'm drinking the Cape May Lager. Yeah, pretty solid. But there's just something about the NFL this year that's been just so weird. Teams you think they were, who the fuck thought that the 49ers would be 4-0 this year? Whatever. No, something like that. 4 or 5-0. Like that's insane. I don't understand. I don't really understand how a team like the 49ers say from being a below 500 team. Now, give them credit. Their quarterback is there. They didn't have a quarterback last year. The quarterback last year, was terrible. They got the replaced Garoppolo wasn't nearly as good. Didn't do what Garoppolo does. Still, he still had a solid quarterback, a solid option, a better option than Green Bay had at that point in that year. But it's kind of sad. It was kind of sad to see how they progress so much there, and you're like, holy shit, this is a contender at this point. But it's too early to tell. But you kind of certain about that kind of stuff, whether or not teams are contenders and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe San Fran will shock everyone and become full contenders once again, or maybe a team like the Packers get really hot late in the season, just knock them off easily, because once Aaron LaFleur just figure out this offense, once they start figuring this offense out, this offense is going to be explosive. This is going to be a great offense. Green Bay offense is going to be a force to be reckoned with once they start getting things together and start producing the way that they want. Both of them want to produce, not just the people upstairs. It's everyone. Everyone wants them to produce the way they pass with Mike McCarthy and before him Mike Sherman. There was a lot of coaching history in Green Bay. Mike Sherman not so much, because Sherman never won a Super Bowl, but Sherman gave you a lot of great games, but never gave you that ring that Mike McCarthy did. And I'm pretty sure LaFleur at some point will give you that Super Bowl ring. Because LaFleur is just he's very creative. There's something about him that I think he just takes the greatness out of all the predecessors that he learned from. Like everyone, when you're at a job, just think of it as your job. You learn people at your job, and you're just like, all right, yeah, I learned from this guy, this guy, this guy, and I take all three of those, all the best qualities out of the three of these guys, and I make myself. That's how I mold myself. Basically, how he tried to do that as a coach in the NFL. Now this guy's been under Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta. This is Matt Ryan's MVP. That's where he did that. He was in LA or St. Louis or LA for a couple seasons, and then he was in Tennessee. He was in Tennessee. Went under Vrabel, whatever his name is. Under him. And I tell you, this guy has been really, really good. He's just taken every team he's been in. He's taken the best of those teams and just made it his own. And that's how Green Bay is now. And Green Bay has that, Sean McVay, like, all right, we're gonna, make your linebackers freeze for a second because of the fact that we're gonna do some do a lot of play action during this game, and your linebackers are just gonna have to fucking deal with that shit. Like, we're not gonna slow our game down. We're gonna speed up as the game progresses and hit you with, late in the game you're really tired. We're gonna hit you with Aaron. We're gonna hit you with Aaron Jones. We're gonna hit you with Jamal. We're gonna MVS on the outside, doing a double move to the inside. And just speed past your defenders. Like, that's basically the Green Bay offense right now. And it's been very, 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 very productive. Yeah. This week has been very challenging. If you guys bet, there's definitely if you guys bet, there's definitely some betting to be done this week with the underdog. A lot of the underdogs